everyone, Namaskar. Welcome to our channel Ashwatha Edu-hub. So there had been a query about photosynthesis in the comment section. So today we are going to start the chapter photosynthesis. Okay, now let's begin. So what do you think? What is photosynthesis? All of you must have studied photosynthesis in your school, where you had studied a very simple definition that photosynthesis is the process in which plants prepare their food with the help of sunlight, isn't it? So that is definitely a very correct definition, but as we grow older and we study in depth, we need to know some things more, isn't it? Now the first question arises, who can perform it? So as we know what plants can perform it, second question arises that are humans capable of photosynthesis? If yes, why? If no, why? Now the answer is human being, they cannot perform photosynthesis. Like if we stand under the sun, do you think we can cook up glucose in our body? Definitely no. Why? So we'll go into that why later on. But first let us see who are the organisms which can perform photosynthesis. So as you have seen, what is this? This is a plant. Then we have algae. Then we have a few other organisms, protists like euglena, diatoms, dinoflagellates. All these are examples of organisms that can perform photosynthesis. Now, when we talk about this plant, do you think the entire plant can photosynthesize? Obviously, no. These trunks, do you think they can photosynthesize? The branches, do you think they can photosynthesize? No. Which part of the plant can photosynthesize? These are the part. What? The leaves. The leaves can perform photosynthesis. Why? Because they have a specialized kind of cell organelle which is called as what? Chloroplast. And those organisms which have chloroplast, they can perform photosynthesis. Okay, now let's go into details how the chloroplast is involved in photosynthesis. Now the answer to this: chloroplast contains pigments specifically meant for photosynthesis, so chloroplast is a cell organelle present in plants or autotrophs which possess pigments. Now, what are the pigments of photosynthesis? These pigments are organic molecules that can absorb the visible spectra of light. As we know that sunlight is essential for photosynthesis, so these pigments, they can absorb the visible range of the sunlight. Okay, now plants possess certain pigments. The pigments are chlorophyll, carotenoids, and phycobilins or biliproteins. Of this, chlorophyll A and B are very, very important in plants. Carotenoids again can be divided into carotenes and xanthophylls. So we have alpha carotene, beta carotene. Okay, this lycopene should have been here. Okay, so lycopene, these are all carotenes. Carotenes we see in carrot. So carrot is one kind of plant in which you find the highest amount of beta carotene. Okay, then we have xanthophylls like viola, xanthine, lutein, etc. So this imparts definite color to the structure in which they are present. Then we have phycobilins or biliproteins. So some prominent phycobilins are phycocyanin and phycoerythrin. Clear? Now, this kind of pigments are present inside the cell organelle chloroplast, and these pigments are capable of absorbing the visible spectra of light. That is why they play such an important role in the process of photosynthesis, because if we go into details of photosynthesis, we will know that ultimately the energy of sun is utilized for production of food. So let me tell you something, but if you want to prepare chicken butter masala, what will be required? You'll require chicken, other things, you will require butter, other masalas and everything, isn't it? Now do you think if we keep all these ingredients together, will they get converted into chicken butter masala? Definitely not. What do you require? We require first an utensil, isn't it? The karahi lagibo na nai? So imagine that the utensil or the karahi is what? The chloroplast cell organelle. Clear? Now, if you have the utensil, you put the all the ingredients in the utensil, will the chicken butter masala be formed from the ingredients? No. What will be required? Fire. Definitely, we need that gas or stove that will produce the energy. And in that energy, all the ingredients will be converted into the dish. Similarly, when plants cook, they have ingredients like what? Carbon dioxide, water, and they will produce what? Glucose. But it's not a magic that carbon dioxide and water will combine to produce glucose. There are sequential steps. Clear? And the most important thing is what? Energy. And we know that the ultimate source of energy is what? Sun, the solar energy. Clear? So these pigments, they are able to convert that solar energy into usable form of energy. Usable form means, suppose in India, if I say, what is the currency? Rupee, isn't it? But if you go into US or some another country, will they accept rupee? No. We have to convert it into in their currency, isn't it? Maybe if you go into US, you have to convert it into dollar, then they will accept it. Similarly, plants cannot utilize the solar energy directly. Clear? So the solar energy has to be converted into usable form of energy, and the usable form of energy in all living organism is what? ATP. So these pigments, they will help to convert the energy from the sun into what? Into usable chemical energy, that is ATP and NADPH2. That is why plants are capable of photosynthesis and we are not capable because we don't have those pigments. That is why our body cannot convert that solar radiation into ATP, nor we can synthesize food. Now let us see. So this is the sun. Solar energy will fall on earth, isn't it? We call it as solar radiation, isn't it? Now it's not like pigments can absorb all the solar radiation. Clear? So when sunlight fall on earth, they produce different rays or wavelengths. These are very shorter wavelengths of light called as gamma ray, X-ray, UV rays, ultraviolet rays. All of you know it's very harmful for us, isn't it? It can cause various kind of diseases. Then comes this range called as visible spectrum of light, which is also called as VIBGYOR: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. This is called as a VIBGYOR, the color of the rainbow. And it has a range of how much? 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. After that, we get IR, infrared rays, microwaves, radio waves. We are not concerned about this or this because in photosynthesis, which is required only the visible spectra of light. Clear? And because this can be utilized for the purpose of photosynthesis, it is called as PAR, photosynthetically active radiation. Now one question for you all. What do you think inside a room if you put a bulb, okay, or any kind of light source, will the plant photosynthesize? Please do give comments in the comment section and let me know the reason too. If yes, why? If no, why? Now, what makes plants unique from rest of the other heterotrophs? Present of the cell organelle, which is known as what? Chloroplast. This chloroplast is a double membrane bound cell organelle. There is an outer membrane, there is an inner membrane, okay? And the inner membrane encloses a matrix, and this matrix is called as what? Stroma. And in the stroma, you find some membranous structure. This one, this one, this one. This single membranous structure are called as what? Thylakoid. Clear? Now this thylakoid, they are piled up or they are stacked one upon another. Now many thylakoids together it forms a what? Granum. Granum is used as singular, and if you want to say talk about more grana, we can call it more granum, we can call it as grana. Okay, so all of you must have played, carom. Caromot je ami kolgos khelo. Caromor guti bilak jetia ami kolgos banao. Imagine eta caromor guti ki hoy? Thylakoid. Aru guti kolgos to jodi sao, we can call it as what? 1 granum. Clear? Now, it's very important to know about this cell organelle because this is the cell organelle in which photosynthesis will occur. And the reaction of photosynthesis is very, very compartmentalized. It's not like photosynthesis can occur anywhere inside the chloroplast. It is very, very specific. There is a sequence, and certain reaction will occur in thylakoid, certain reaction will occur in where? Stroma. Clear? Now let us come to the mechanism of photosynthesis. Now let us see the mechanism of photosynthesis. But before that, I want to tell you one very important thing, that now it is very easy for us to say, isn't it, that what? Carbon dioxide combines with water to produce glucose plus oxygen plus water. It's very easy for us to say. But it took so many years to finally come to this conclusion, isn't it? There has been many scientists who has been involved in studying the entire mechanism. Today we can write that 6 CO2 combines with 12 water to produce 1 molecule of glucose, 6 molecule of oxygen, and 6 molecule of water. Clear? But there is a history behind that. I will take that part in another video. The entire history we will discuss. I want to give you one example. There was a scientist called as Joseph Priestley. So he actually did a series of experiments. What did he do? He took an inverted bell jar, closed, and he kept a burning candle inside. What did he find? That what will happen? The candle will continue to burn for some time, and after that, what will happen? It will get extinguished. Numai jabo. He also kept a mouse inside. And the mouse what? The mouse died after some time. Clear? And next time what did he do, Next time what did he do? He kept a mint plant, a small plant inside the bell jar. Clear? Now what happened, The candle continued to burn and the mouse survived. Why? At that time, he could not come into a very solid conclusion, but he came to a very important conclusion that plants have the ability to convert impure air into pure air. Clear? So he called that impure air as phlogiston. He called that impure air as phlogiston, and he suggested that plants, they can convert the impure air or phlogiston into dephlogiston, that is pure air. Now we can easily say what? The plants release what? CO2. So when he kept the plant inside the jar, the plant was taking up what? Carbon dioxide and releasing what? Oxygen. That is why the candle was burning, because the burning mechanism involves what? In burning, oxygen is taken up and carbon dioxide is released. See? So when the candle was burning, it was releasing what? Carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide was picked up by the plant and it was releasing what? Oxygen. So the burning of the candle, it continued, and the mouse, it survived. So in this way, we will see that many scientists are involved. They have given important discoveries regarding photosynthesis. So I'll take that part in another lecture. Now let us go to the main part, that is mechanism of photosynthesis. So, because in the comment section, Parag had specifically mentioned that he wanted to know mostly about the light and dark reaction. So I'm taking that part. So photosynthesis basically involves two important phases or reaction. One is called as light reaction and the other is called as dark reaction. It is also called as Hill reaction after the name of the discoverer who elaborated the process, R. Hill. And dark reaction is also called as, so that's a question for you. Please do drop the answer if you know. Clear? It is upon the name of the scientist who elaborated it. Clear? Now, the name light and dark. Mostly when I ask the students, they give answers like, uh, it happens in light, it happens in dark. But that is not the exact answer, you know. Light reaction is called as light reaction because it is light dependent. That means it has to happen only in presence of light. Dark reaction is known as dark reaction. It is because it is light independent. That means it can happen in presence of light or it can happen in absence of light. Presence or absence of light does not determine the reaction, whether it will happen or not. But if light reaction has to occur, it has to occur always in presence of light. That is why it is called as light dependent. Secondly, if you remember the structure of chloroplast, remember thylakoid? Light reaction is specifically occurring in thylakoid. It cannot occur in stroma or outer or inner membrane. It always occurs in thylakoid. While the dark reaction occurs where in stroma. Very, very compartmentalized. Although we talk about the single cell organelle, but the reactions are compartmentalized. Light in the thylakoid, dark reaction in the stroma. Now, what exactly happens in light reaction? As I was telling in the beginning that there is always requirement of energy to cook food, isn't it? So now you know that plants are going to cook their food, that is glucose. So they will be also requiring what? Energy. And the ultimate source of energy is what? Sun. Clear? Now in this phase what happens? The plants inside the chloroplast, pigments will be there. They can absorb that light. They convert the solar energy into ATP and NADPH2, which is also called as assimilatory power. So in this reaction, what happens? There is conversion of solar energy into chemical energy. So I hope all of you know the first law of thermodynamics, which states that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. So here in the light reaction, what is happening? There is conversion of the solar energy into chemical energy, that is ATP and NADPH2. So that obviously this reaction is dependent upon light because this reaction involves the process of converting solar energy into chemical form of energy. Now, in dark reaction, what will happen? It will use the assimilatory power or ATP and NADPH2 and then it will reduce the carbon dioxide into carbohydrate, that is glucose. So do you find that there is requirement of light here? No. It is using the product of light, that is ATP and NADPH2. Okay, so it can happen in presence of light or absence of light. Doesn't matter because it is using the product of light, ATP and NADPH2. Clear? So the entire chapter basically is this. We have to first study light reaction, how the plants will convert the solar energy into chemical form of energy, and in this part we will study how the plants they reduce carbon dioxide into carbohydrate with the help of this energy.